I'm not ready.
So why did you start the video?
I don't know.
You're silly.
Anyway.
Goofball.
Alright.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay.
I look really burnt.
Whatever.
You can see.
We were on the beach for 2 days. Who cares?
We just got back from our day trip to Jimbrin, and we've been out in the sun a lot here and obviously have a really good base tan, but apparently it's not enough to hold up to the sun on the beach, so we have to be
the ocean's a little different.
a little aware of that when we spend more days on the beach in a row. But anyway, so we wanted to talk about the school tour that we did. Dave did a great job of researching, finding a expat school within the Ubud area that basically teaches international students who come to travel either for a short amount of time or long periods of time. So they have a 1-week program all the way up to a full year program, and he organized a tour for us. So we just got back from our day trip, but on the way down to Jimbrin, we stopped in to the school and talked to the teachers, saw the campus, and got to kind of go through what life would be like at a school here in Ubud as a expat family, if that's something that we ever chose to do, or even just for interest. You know, we wanted to kind of see what the families that do move here do for their kids for schooling, because there are so many people from around the world. Yeah,
just to be clear, this is an expat school. This is not a local school. There were kids from literally all over the world. Teachers from all over the world. So this is not, they're English speaking. This is,
well, some, I mean,
mostly English speaking.
Mostly, but we're talking kids from like Germany and Holland and
Russia, North America.
So obviously, first language is not English, but they teach and do most of their instruction, all of their instruction?
Yeah, as far as I know.
All of it in English in the school. So the school houses about 40 students. 40 is kind of their bottom line. If they have any less than 40, then it becomes difficult to run the school feasibly. It doesn't work. They need to be able to pay their staff.
They're not-for-profit, so they do need that minimum to kind of maintain their operating costs.
So the school's really hidden. We actually got really lost on the way there. Even our driver had no idea where the hell we were going. With the map, we got turned around. It's really hidden. But it's a collection of multiple buildings all around kind of an open field space. So they have one main building, it's 3 levels, they kind of have multiple classrooms, and then on the main floor of that building is where the younger children in the morning do their yoga and meditation. And then they have buildings all along the perimeter, each one for a different purpose, and houses a different classroom. So like an English classroom, there's an art studio, there's a
music classroom, there's a nursery for the little kids, there's a small library, there's, I don't know, just say English classroom, there's a level 4 or 5 classroom, there's a kitchen, and then
there's
a little playground.
And there's goats. They have goats on campus. And then there's a pool that overlooks the rice terraces that basically serves as like their phys ed. Not that I think that kids here need any more physical activity. It's such an active area, part of the world anyway. But it's a mix of instruction styles. So it's not necessarily rigid private school style education, and it's not super go with the flow hippy dippy style education. They kind of get the best of both worlds. So they start every day with yoga and meditation,
which is a little bit on the
hippy dippy side.
But then they get into mathematics, and they use I think she said it was an English, like a European mathematics program. And then they get into English language arts, writing and speaking, and then they kind of follow through a normal day. Like a normal curriculum.
They get recesses. The school gives them fresh snacks every day. So the day that we were there, they had fried bananas and rambutan.
Vegetarian.
All vegetarian menu.
Vegetarian program.
So they can opt into the lunch program, which is of course cooked on site and all vegetarian, or they have the option to bring in their own lunch. But if they do bring in their own lunch, they do have to bring in vegetarian only options. So it's a meat-free campus. So the kids are getting really healthy, plant-based food for the most part. And then, like the day kind of goes as it would for kids in Canada at school. But, you know, the teachers there are coming from all over the world. So she was saying this, well, it's a couple that runs the school, but she was telling us that their English teacher, their current English teacher is actually out of Montreal. Are you adjusting?
Yeah, I'm
uncomfortable.
I'm uncomfortable.
You're so awkward.
I'm short.
Anyway, so that's cool. You know, the kids get to learn from all sorts of teachers with different teaching styles from different parts of the world. So it kind of gives them access to even more, even though they're already learning in a different part of the world with a different type of curriculum. You asked her about numbers, how much it is.
Yeah, it's kind of a private school. Not really sure what a public school here would cost, a local school. But she says for one child, it works out to around 6 million rupiah per year, like for a full year term.
Do the conversion.
Which works out to, let's say 5,500 Canadian dollars, give or take.
For a full year.
For a full year school. And I think that's just the initial tuition. I don't think that includes the lunch program or the snack program.
Mm-hmm. No, snacks included.
Okay, snacks included,
lunch is
not included.
Opt-in, snacks are always included.
Yeah. So.
And then they have a weekly program, and I think it was like 200.
The weekly program was 2.5 million rupiah. So, like people like us that were here for a month, if we were better organized and had found them earlier in our trip, we could have sent the kids to the school for a week, and they would be part of the classroom.
Yeah.
And they would be for about $200 Canadian a week. They would be full into the program.
And they just integrate it in.
Yeah. Now that's a maximum of 5 weeks. Once you do your 5-week term, then they ask you to enroll as either like a part-time or a full-time student. They do have full year, half year, and then kind of semester type sign-in programs. So a couple different options if people are here long-term.
So they do have quite a few students who come for 6 months and then go home for 6 months. So she says it's predominantly like the cold weather students, so kids from Russia, kids from Canada, more of the northern countries. They'll spend their winters down here in Bali and then their summers back at home. So they're kind of doing dual schooling. And she says one of the biggest challenges is that because students come from all over the world and curriculums and education systems all around the world are so different, that they kind of have to find that balance. So they might have kids who are all grade 3 age, but they're coming in with very different knowledge, very different ability levels in terms of reading, math, science, all of those things. But they work with it, so they try and find that middle ground. And I think one of my favorite things about the school is they kind of give the kids access to all sorts of materials, like found materials within nature, things that they bring in, recycled materials, and then they encourage them to come up with their own projects, whether it's art or science or whatever it is. So the kids are kind of pushed to be creative and really teach themselves a little bit. So some of the grade 3s.
The level 4, they call it level 4 or 5, which would be about a grade 4, grade 5 child, so 9, 10 years old. They were working on a water filtration system to reuse their dish cleaning water into gray water to be used in their gardens that they have, which they have 2 of, one for the young kids and one for the older kids. So
the kids are responsible for tending to the gardens.
Yeah. And so they're building this filter and trying to use the different supplies to come up with a filter to reuse the water, which
it's pretty cool.
Pretty cool as a 9-year-old, 10-year-old to be learning that and having that practical application in the world.
And then, you know, they have this snack that they make. So every Friday they have a short day, and the kids take the time to make a vegetarian snack. And then the parents come a little bit earlier, say 20 minutes, half an hour earlier at the end of the day, and the kids then get to serve the snack to their parents that they made for them. So just kind of a cool, like, interactive thing for the parents to be able to come in and be a part of the school. So it really seems like it's a full community rather than just like drop and run. And because it is so small, 40 kids, you know, they don't even have any year 8 students yet.
No, they had to they're building a middle school because the school's only been around for 5 years, and the couple that started it with their 4 kids, their oldest is now getting to a point where she's grown out of the school, so they just built a middle school so that she had somewhere to go, so she didn't have to go find somewhere else to go to school. So as the kids grow up, the school's growing up as well, which is kind of cool for them.
It is really neat. Yeah. I don't know, it's a pretty cool place, a little bit magical, and when we left, we kind of both looked at each other and thought, God, it'd be cool for our kids to be able to grow up with an education like that. Not that the education at home isn't fantastic, you know, our kids go to such a great school and we have the most amazing supportive teachers, but it's just different. It's a different way of doing things.
It just felt more chill, like more relaxed, more like, I don't, you know, I've heard teachers at various schools, you know, coming down on kids or sending kids to the office or, you know, raising their voice to kids, and I don't get that vibe from this place.
No, it's a little tree hugging hippie.
A little bit, but it's
which
still,
I love.
But it still comes off as being a legitimate, like, good program.
Well, there's expectations.
Yes.
They're not like, oh guys, just do whatever you want, learn from your environment. They do want that, but they also want that structure.
Yeah, because they realize that when you go home, you can't be learning how to count bean seeds or whatever. You need to be learning practical things that can apply to their kids' schools back home, or their high schools, or universities, or colleges, or whatever post-secondary they might consider. Needs to be applicable for what they're learning when they're 7, 8, 9, 10 years old.
So we took a bunch of video. Yeah. We were a pretty good tour. The kids had the best time running around, so there's lots of pictures, lots of footage of them, so we'll add that on here and you can take a look and see how cool the Wood School is.
Yeah, Wood School, they're on Instagram.
Yep.
Yeah, we can post a few more
I'll put
details.
the link down below if you want to check it out and learn a little bit more about what they're doing here in Ubud.
Yeah.
So the kids are super excited because today we are going to tour an expat school called Wood School. Mostly international students, families who are living beautiful. We're really tucked away back here. It took a little bit of effort to find it for sure. But look at, they have a pool, look at the view. Stunning. What an amazing place to go to school. Hey Sydney, what do you think? Is it really beautiful? So what's really different about the school that you really love?
Grade 2s and grade 3s are together.
Grade 2s and 3s are together. And is it different, this building, than the buildings at home?
Yeah.
How different?
A lot.
So what do you think? Do you think it'd be interesting to go to school here?
Yeah.
Yeah? What do they have outside that's different?
A pool.
They do have a pool. How cool is that? Honey? Hey, oh! Is that tough to stay in that hammock? Oh, yeah. Okay, let's keep going. Let's go check out the rest of the school. No, we'll do it after Sydney. Let's go check out the rest of the school. You can try after, Huey. So still at the Wood School, and this is their music and art space. This great two-story building. Kids are encouraged to kind of do their own projects, and they're given all the materials they need to be creative and come up with their own projects and the things that they want to do. Beautiful collection of little buildings along the way here, each housing a different classroom, different purpose. Big field space for the kids as well. Pool over there, main schoolhouse. So this beautiful little building is the nursery reception on the bottom. So the little ones tend to be in that space between 3 and 5, and then upstairs on the second floor is their English classroom. Could you imagine coming in every day and walking from classroom to classroom out here? It would be really incredible. An oven. I'm not sure what they're making. Lunch, maybe. Look at that. No, stay out, Hugh. Stay out. Hugh?
You can take any leaf if you want.
Yeah, they'll eat any leaves, Sydney. Anything.
Maybe try to find like this. Maybe try to find a green one that's already fallen off.
Yeah, they don't like the dried ones. They like the green ones.
We can feed it to them.
Do you want to try and feed him a green one? He won't like that dry one, Hugh. What do you think? I'll give him that.
Here, Hugh.
Here, Huey.
Here, I'll give him that one. Here, hold it here. Oh, he wants it. You see him?
Yeah, you give it to him. Okay. Oh, don't tease him. Pick it up. Give it back to him. Pick it up. No. Okay. No, he doesn't want that one, Hugh. Oh, Sid, that was nice. What about this guy?
Hugh. Hold that one, Hugh. No, hold it down the bottom.
I got a couple. I got 3.
Oh, Hugh. Wow, nice, Henry. Is that so cute? School with goats, Sid. Can you imagine?
What?
You look at it again.
I did That's all.
The big one. Henry's over here giving this guy everything. Hey?
No, that's funny. You'll eat my finger.
Oh, so cute.
Goat school.
Just give it to him, Sid. Oh, you got it!
Piece of grass. Okay.